Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 8th grade concept of identifying functions. This is standard 8.5G in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 8 of the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So if we look on our reference material, we are not going to find nothing in the additional information that helps us figure out what is a function. So that's a piece of information we need to go into the STAAR test with. All right, so first let's define a function, and then there's actually a really easy way for us to figure out what is a function on a graph. A little bit harder when you have a set of numbers, when you've got a table, but when you're dealing with the graph, it's pretty straightforward. So first off, what is a function? So a function is when each x value, so each x coordinate, is paired or leads to or is mapped to exactly, now that's going to be the key point right there, exactly one y value. So when each x value, so we're starting with our x, right? We're starting with our x, and it has to be paired with exactly one y value, right? So if we take a look at this a, like let's take this x of 2, so x equals 2, y equals, look, y can equal 0, y can equal 1, y could equal 2, y could equal -4. Okay, so definitely not A. A is the definition of the exact opposite of a function, right? If we had a straight line going left and right, that'd be perfect. So definitely not A, okay? So let's check B right here. So I'm going to put A right here. Let's change colors. Let's go B. So if x equals, oh, we'll look at that 4 right there, then y equals 1. And that's the only y. Okay, so let's try another one. If x equals 0, then y equals -3. You know what? B is looking pretty good. It only has one y value matched to each x value. So I'm thinking B looks pretty good. Let's check C. You know what? C is almost perfect, except you probably see it right here. What happens when x is -1? Guess what? I've got two different y values. Y equals both -1 and y equals, I'll call that 3.5. 3.5. So you can, besides that, it's fine, but you cannot have any breaks. So in regards to the fact that only one y value for each x. So the fact that it's almost perfect is going to still knock it out. Right? You could have a break in this line. It doesn't have to be a continuous line, but if this line right here were to start maybe right up there at the origin, right, and just kind of cross out that part right there, that would be better. You can have a break, you just can't have an overlap like that. All right, let's see, my graph's getting a little bit messy, but we can figure out this last one here. So this one is going to be pretty easy to eliminate here. You see that we've got this, let's just look at 3. X equals -3. Y equals, look, I've got both 1 and -1. Right? So most of the time, the easiest way to do this is what we call the vertical line test. So I'll go back up to the very top, and we'll use the vertical line test. If you can draw a vertical line and it touches more than the graph more than once, it's not. So A is definitely out. Okay? And let's see right here. B, I can draw as many vertical lines as I want, and it's good. C is almost perfect except for that vertical line right there. And then D doesn't work right there. So my answer is going to be B.